Okay, so good evening, everybody. For those of you that have just joined us, we're going to be speaking about the learning management system Additio. We've got a very, very special guest direct from Girona in Spain, in Catalonia, to be precise. And it's Jordi Corominas. So Jordi, I'll leave everything to you. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hands, or you can put it in the chat, and Jordi will actually be able to look out for you. And if you can keep your microphones off, please, and make your questions very, very short, and we'll leave it at that. So enjoy, everybody. Over to you, Jordi.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Alex. I will start directly sharing my screen, but this presentation will be just a step-by-step demo of the product, how to start using it, and I would love that you learn exactly which kind of features you can get out of it, or how the product can help you. You will see that one important part of the product is about managing how the students are progressing. You will be able to record the grades, you will be able to make averages, you will be able to assess the students using rubrics. But then there are other tools. You can also plan your lessons and track attendance. So it's a product that it's really, really helpful for everyone who is involved in teaching. And I'm sure that it will help you a lot on during your sessions and your teaching activity. So I will go and share my screen. 1 second. Yeah, here I am. Okay, probably you are already seeing my screen now. And you will probably see the login screen. Here, the first thing that is really important is that you know this URL. It's web.additioapp.com. Okay, with 2 Ds. I will put it on the chat. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with Zoom, and I'm not sure. Yeah, here the chat. So this is the URL, and using this URL, you can access the product. The product is it's a website. As you will see, everything can be done using any web browser, on Windows, Mac, Linux, any kind of operating system, because it's just a website. But we also have apps for mobile devices. If you go to the App Store and you download this app here, as you can see, well, now it opens in Spanish, but I think everybody can understand it. You can just install this app on your iPhone or your iPad. As you can see, we have a pretty good rating because people normally likes how to use it. And well, you can do exactly the same that we will see during this session on your iPad or on your iPhone, and also on your Android devices. Oh, oops. Here on the App Store, you can also install. Let me switch to English. Yeah, you can go and install the app in English and use it on your mobile devices. Okay, but it's easier to just explain how the product works using the website. So I'm going to use the website, and I recommend people to start with the website. You don't have to install anything, but at the end, again, you can use both. You can synchronize between both. You can use the iPad or a tablet without needing an internet connection, because it works offline. And once you get connection, you can synchronize, and the information is synchronized between the web version and the apps. So said that, the first step is to go to this website here, web.additioapp.com. I don't know if you already have the accounts, but Alex is handling this process. If you already have an account, you just go here and you can log in. I will log in with my account. Okay. Oops. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I log in with my account. If you don't have an account yet, what you should do is to send an email to Alex and his team, and they will give you the account. Don't register. If you register, the system will ask you to pay for the paid version. The process is to ask Alex for the account and the federation, or send an email to the federation, and they will provide you an account that already has access and the license is already provisioned.
Jordi, could
So
I just add? Sorry to interrupt. I just want to add something important. I'll put some information in the chat, and you can fill in the form there, and then we can take it from there. I just wanted to add, Jordi, that the subscriptions, these are not just free to anybody, and they are actually paid for by the New South Wales Federation of Community Language Schools. So it's something that we pay, and that we provide member schools and funded community languages schools in the New South Wales Community Languages Schools program. But you need to be pretty serious about it, because we only have a very limited number, or a limited number of subscriptions, okay? And they're quite safe. And Jordi will talk about that later. I'll leave it back to you, Jordi.
Exactly. That's what I was meaning, right? If you just subscribe by yourself, you will be able just to, you will be asked to pay, but you are lucky, and the federation already assumed this cost, and they can provide you the licenses. So the process is to get the license through Alex and his team. So once we are in, probably you won't see this screen exactly as I can see it right now. This is what we call it today's screen, and here I have like a timetable for today. My account is already set up. Later on, I will show you an empty account, but I want to show you exactly, first of all, what can you do with the product and how an account which is in use looks like. But initially, here you probably see like an icon here and says, okay, you don't have any plan for today, because you probably don't have yet created your courses and created your timetable, so the system doesn't know exactly which are the lessons that you have to that you have planned for today. Well, this is the initial screen, but what is really important is that here we have the menu. You just can click here, and then here we have the menu. As you can see, the platform helps you in many different topics. Here we have, well, the gradebooks and the groups. Here we have a tool to plan our lessons. Here we have like a section through which you can set up your assessment types, or create your rubrics, or create your quizzes, because there is a tool to create quizzes and send these quizzes to the students also. And here we have other tools like the calendar, or to manage your resources, files, notes that you want to register. And here we have a section to create reports. And here we have the settings. Through the settings, you can change some of the settings of the application, like, for example, updating your password, updating your profile, exporting all your data in case you want to have like a personal backup. Of course, we do backups, and the information is completely safe, but sometimes people likes also to export his data, like, for example, at the end of the course. So we have an option for that, really, that it's really helpful. We have a language section here. The platform is translated into many different languages, because it's implemented in more than 50 countries, and it's translated into Spanish, French, Italian, German, Portuguese, English. Unfortunately, not yet translated to other languages, but we are improving the translations every few months. So the first step would probably be to go to the gradebook section. Here, as you will see, I have a lot of groups already created here. You will probably just have one when you access, it will look like more like this. Just 1 second. Your account will probably look more like this one here, which is the empty one. As I said, in the today screen, it says there is nothing scheduled for today. But when I open and I go to gradebooks, here I just have mathematics example. This is a sample group, but I would like to show you through the other account how a group can look like. And then we will start creating your groups from scratch. So here we have the gradebooks, and I can like open this folder. I can put the groups into folders, as you can see. And then I could like, for example, open this group here, 2G science, or it could be 2G language, or afternoon or Thursday afternoon language session. Okay, so this is just the name. I'm showing you an example for someone who teaches science, but at the end, everything is exactly the same. How a group looks like is like this, right? You have your students here. You can click on a student and see all his data. So it's like a database through which you can manage all the information about the pupils that attend your lessons. Or the students, if they are not just kids. And here we have activities, right? And these activities, for example, I don't know, we did an oral presentation and I want to track the grade that I give to each particular student. I can really easily do it. I just have to click here. Well, in that case, yes, for example, I will grade this activity here. As you can see, as soon as I click here, the system asks me to just put a number, okay, in that case. So I'm grading this activity for Joan, for Nuria, for Sonia, 7.5. As you can see, it's pretty easy, right? So here we have just seen one of the main features, which is like, okay, adding columns. Later, I will show you exactly how to create your own gradebook. Again, this gradebook is already created with a lot of different activities, but helps me showing you that you don't have to just grade your students using a number, right? You can also create columns with other grading systems. Like, for example, for kids, it's really useful to just use icons, right? So here I could just use an icon. Each icon can have a number related to it. Or for example, here we can create like scales, like, okay, actively participate, it inhibits himself, express feelings or emotions. I can use also this system to register the grades. Then we have also other functionalities, like, for example, the rubrics. You can, I don't know if you are already using them, but they are a really powerful grading tool, which helps a lot, because you are not just giving a number or putting a number like, okay, this student got a 7 out of 10 or an 18 out of 20, but you have like a guide, or you have the guidelines of how you should assess this activity. In that case, it's an oral presentation, and I have decided you can create your own rubrics, or we also have a lot of rubrics already created. But how they work is like, okay, instead of saying, okay, you got a 15 out of 20, you have decided that you are going to evaluate how was the organization, how was the content of the presentation, how was the knowledge about the subject that the person was presenting, how was the style and the mechanics, and how was the communication and time management. And here we can also write what is considered to be proficient about organization. So it would be like, the student shows enthusiasm and presents information in logical, interesting sequence which engages the audience. What is acceptable? Student presents information in logical sequence which audience can follow. What is that? Well, he needs improvement, or what would be like, okay, not accomplished, right? So you as a teacher just have to click on the items and select them, right? Okay, the organization was proficient, the content was acceptable, the subject knowledge was acceptable, the style was, well, he needs improvement, and well, the communication and time management was really bad. So I put just here. Which are the advantages of doing it? That, okay, you have the grade, you have also the grade, so 11 out of 20. In that case, this rubric is set up to grade the student out of 20. And so at the end, the result is the same, but the process, as you have seen, is completely different. And then the students can, of course, also see it. You can just come here and send this rubric or export the rubrics for all students. And this is really helpful because you can show them exactly why do you think that he was proficient in organization, why do you think that he deserves an 11 out of 20. And more particularly, it's interesting because this way the students can know exactly where in which topics they can really learn, they can really improve. So in organization, okay, you told him the organization was perfect, but he knows that he should probably focus on communication and time management the next time because he did really, really bad. So if the students can see it, it's really better for him because they can know exactly how to improve. Then, well, this gradebook, as you can see, there are several different ways of grading, as we have seen, and the gradebook can also be organized into tabs, as you can see here. So for example, I have a tab for rubrics, a tab for behavior, a tab for tasks. I will show you also another group that looks like really different, and I will introduce you something which is different, which are the categories, so that help us creating the averages and calculating the final grades of the students. Here, for example, I have a category called assignments. Here, for example, I'm grading an activity. In that case, it's a selector. So I put a number. Automatically, the system converts the number to an icon because I have set up, here indicates that there are conditionals that are applied. And here, as you can see, look at this number, 5.5 out of 10. If I change this value here, automatically the system calculates an average between all the assignments that are included in this category. Okay, so here we grade with the number. Here, for example, we have like a selector like mastery, near mastery. Here we grade with icons, and here again with the mastery system. So as you can see, there are a lot of different grading systems that you can use. It does not mean that you have to use all of them. You can just decide, okay, I want just a grade book with numbers and making the averages. That's what we will build right now. But if you want to do something like, for example, using the icons or the rubrics or the descriptors, it's something that you can do. So the gradebook is really flexible and very, very easy to use, as you will see right now. Okay, now that I've shown you how it looks like, that the gradebook can be separated in tabs, that you can create categories to make averages, that you can add columns here that are part of the average, and so on. I would like to show you exactly how to create your own gradebook from scratch, of course. So I will just go to the gradebook section. In that case, I have already a lot of groups, but we always have this button here. Okay, you can just click here and create a new group. I will call it language, I don't know, first level, for example. You can set the start date and the end date, and you can also choose a timetable, right? Okay, for example, you can say, okay, I teach this lesson every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Okay, perfect. So every Wednesday at 4 p.m. starting from January 1st until the end of January. It's a short course. So I just will click save, and automatically the system shows me a group but as you can see here, this group is empty right now. It's empty because, well, of course, it was just created right now. So I have to add my students. Here we have an indication of the first steps. It tells me, okay, import your students, organize your evaluation in tabs, track attendance and create reports, and discover other features, right? Okay, now we will see exactly how it works. Just give me 1 second that I want to locate a spreadsheet with all the, okay, here it is. Perfect. So to import your students, you have many different options. You just can click here and you can import your students from an Excel file, from Google Classroom if you are using it. You can import students from official platforms. That's not your case because you don't have an official platform from your government that has all the students already on it. But since we work with different countries, we are integrated with many different platforms. And you can also import the students from an existing group. Imagine that, okay, you teach like the same 2 different subjects to the same group. You could also import the students from one group that is existing, like for example, 2G algebra. I will show you 2 options. One is to add your students manually, right? You just can click here and just write the names. Like for example, Alex, Garcia, Peter, Salmon, for example, John, right? You just write the names here and you click import, and very easily the system just adds your students. So as you can see, just adding your students manually, it's an option. It's really easy, but there are other options. You can also come here, and here we have a menu through which you can set up a lot of things like copying the group or sharing the group with other people within your organization. But here, if I go to students, I can just click import students and pictures. And now I could, like, for example, import the students from an Excel file. I should select the file here. I will go to downloads. Where is it? Yeah, this one, for example. It can be any Excel file. It doesn't have to be in a precise format. You can use any format that you want. So the name can be on the first column or on the third column, because as you will see, you just have to set up which information is in each column. So here, for example, I can select titles are in the first row because the first row is name, surname, ID, subgroup, email, phone number. So the first row on the spreadsheet had these titles. And when I click import students, I can say, okay, this one was the first name. This one is the last name. This one is the ID. And I don't know, this one is the email, right? And when I click import students, there are, well, it asks me if I'm sure. I say, okay, yes, I'm sure. And here automatically the system imports my students. As you can see, the system imported some pictures. Then you will say, from where did those pictures appear, right? This is because I already have these students on my platform with the same ID. And immediately the system has detected that and has connected this student with the student from another group in which I already had the picture, right? But in your case, probably you will see the students directly just without the picture. If you want to upload the picture, it's something that you can definitely do also. Let me just download the picture from internet. Yeah, 1 second. I will find a picture with all my pupils, like, for example, okay, I will try to use this one. 1 second, I'm just downloading a picture. Okay. If I want to change the pictures, it's really easy. You just come to students again, import the students and pictures, and you can import all the pictures with the file name that corresponds exactly with the ID, but I really like this option here, import group picture. Using this, you can like select a picture like this one, for example, with all the people. I mean, this could be a picture of all the group in the classroom, just one moment shot with your phone. I'm using a football club, or I think it's the Australian selection. But here I have all the faces, they could be all my students, and the system detects the faces, as you can see, and automatically takes all the pictures. And now I could say, okay, this is Alex, this is Peter, this is John, she is Didac, she is no, I don't know, Teresa. Okay, so done that. If I click import, immediately I will have, as you can see, all my students with their pictures. As you can see, everything is very easy. It's important to, of course, put some effort on the first steps because they are the toughest ones. But as you have seen, it's really easy. Just dragging and drop an Excel file, connecting the columns and putting a picture, and you have all your groups set up very easily. So the next step would be to organize your tabs for your grades, right? So here I could, by default, you have a tab already created that it's called first tab. I could change the name, like, for example, first period. First period, meaning that we have, okay, the course divided into periods, okay, and then I can create another one, like, for example, second period. Yes. So now I have two tabs. Both are empty because we have still not done any activity. But let's create our first activity. I could come here and imagine that we have done like exercise 1. And here I always put a name, and I just have to select a grading system. Okay, so here, for example, I will use, okay, numeric value in my case. And okay, I don't want a default value, and I just click save, and I have the exercise, and I could start grading the exercise, like, okay, a 10, 7.5. Okay, I want to jump directly to the next student, 8.5, 5, 7.5, 9, 4. It's not a in my case, I'm used to putting the grades in as a maximum value of 10, but it can be out of 30 if you use 30. So don't worry, you can use the grading scale that you really want, and then you can make the averages very easily and work as well. So we have added an activity, and we have graded this activity very easily. So after that, I can show you like other grading systems, like, for example, okay, I want to add we did a presentation, and I want to create this presentation using a rubric. So instead of going to types of evaluation, I could use rubrics here. Okay, and we have like, I don't know, this is a rubric for, well, this is in Spanish, but well, writing and reading, it doesn't matter. I will use this one here. Okay, and then when I click here, the system automatically pops up the rubric, and I just select the items as we have seen before. Okay, how was the point of, how the student sustains the point of view, how was the presentation engagement, how was the plan, how was the active listening, and how did the student listen to the questions. So as you have seen, we have added like 2 columns, and now we will make an average of these 2 columns. As you will see, it's also very easy. You don't have to know any kind of formulas, language, or of course you don't have to use your calculator. It's very easy. You just can come here and say, okay, final grade. And instead of adding a column with a particular type of evaluation and with a rubric, you just come here and select calculations. And we can select like the weighted mean in that case, okay? And once I create it, it says, okay, then give me the columns that you want to add to the weighted mean. And I say, okay, I want the exercise and I want the presentation. And the exercise will take 70%, and the presentation 30%. So very easily, here we have the grades and the average. And of course, if these numbers change, like for example, okay, getting a 10 out of 10, everything is calculated automatically immediately, right? So as you have seen, it's everything with the mouse. You don't have to like write any formulas or prepare anything. Once you do a new activity, very easily, you just can click add new column, and you can do everything with your fingers. So let's see a bit more options, because of course this is cool, but this is still simple. But as you see here, for example, we might disagree, because here we have an average between 8 and, as you can see, it considers it a zero for 30%, because we said that this column had 30% of weight and this one 70%. But we could say, okay, I would like to omit the empty cells, right? I just can click here, and now automatically the system, if one grade is missing, it adapts the formula to distribute this weight onto the other columns and consider that this is not a zero, but it's a non-completed activity. What else? Here, for example, I could like imagine 7.5, well, and here, for example, okay, 5.8. Or we have this average here, 6.99. And we could say, no, I don't want like this kind of numbers. I would like to have a rounded value. So it's very easy. You just can click on the top of the column, on the name of the column. And here you can select the rounding, and you can say, okay, I want to round to the closest 0.5. So it would be like an integer value or a 0.5 value, but never again we will see numbers like 6.99. As you can see now, it's rounded. Again, very simple, very easy, just selecting an option and everything is done. As you can see, it's, well, it will help you a lot managing all the progress of your students. Like with the rounding, we have other tools, like for example, applying conditionals. We could just click here, conditional values, and say, okay, I want, instead of seeing the numbers, I want to see like I want to see like an icon. I could just, conditional values. I want to see an icon, and I could say, okay, if the number is between 0 and 5, show me the red card. If it's between 5 and 10, show me the green cards. So now automatically the system applies the conditionals. As you have seen, again, no formulas, no difficult process, everything very easy to handle. And we could also do the same with the background. So conditional colors, I could say, okay, if the grade is between 0 and 5, show me the background in red. And if it's between 5 and 10, show me the background in green. And now also the background is painted with the colors, and with the colors applying the conditionals. And here we have two icons. One says that a conditional is applied, and one says that there is a formula. What else? Let's move to the second tab, and we will create something different. Sorry, it would be great if you could mute your microphones, please, because there is. Yeah, I think I've been able to do it. Okay, so instead of, well, we have just an easy example like an exercise, a presentation, and an average, but I could come here and do something different. I will create like activities, and I will use it as a category, right? I would like to group some activities. So here we are doing like some activities, and this is a category in which I can add activities. Like for example, activity 1, I want to create it with a numeric value. Okay, by default, just put 5. So everyone is created with 5. Okay, and now I have a category with different activities. As you can see here, we have an average automatically. I could also use the right button to click and do copy and paste, and automatically I will have two columns I could change. Well, I've decided that I wanted to copy also the values, but I could have also decided that I don't want it. And immediately, as you can see here, everything, the average is calculated immediately between those two columns. I could click here and call it activity 2, and now I have 2 activities inside this category. And now I could add like another category, like for example exams. I could come here at the category, and now I would like to change it from an average to a weighted average, because okay, not all the exams will have the same weight. So here I just click save, and I will add the first or partial exam, or yeah, the exam that we do during the course, numeric value again, no default value. And I will add the final exam. I will click here and select numeric value again. I'm using a lot of numeric values in that gradebook, but it's okay. I think it was clear that you can use it differently. Okay, the partial exam, this student got like 7.5, and on the final exam he got a 10. And now clicking on the folder, I could modify the weighting and say, okay, the final exam is 70% and the partial exam is 30%, and I want to omit the empty cells. So now it's okay. If the student has only done like the final exam, 8.5, the system just takes the final exam. If the student got a 5 and he got a 10, he got an 8.5 because it has 70% of the weight at the final exam. So this is, I would like, to move to another topic, because I think it's clear how the gradebook works and how easy it is to organize your gradebooks into tabs and to create categories and to create averages. There are a lot of extra things that you can do, like for example, getting the maximum value between 2 exams, or creating complex formulas, and applying more conditionals, linking it with an LMS. There are plenty of options, but I think for today it's like, okay, it's enough for a first session to help you get on board. I prefer not showing you a lot of different topics, but just to showing you how the product looks like, and then you will, I'm sure, discover how to do other things using the platform. So moving from the gradebook, I will just show you some other features, like for example, well, a couple of them which are really easy. You can also have a seating plan if your students are seated into with groups, like for example, or this could be the last row of the classroom, this could be the second row, or the first row of the classroom, the second row of the classroom. So there are plenty of details like this on the platform, or like for example, picking a student at random who will go on the blackboard and do the exercise, or who will, or let's do groups. Okay, Sonia will work with John, for example. So there are plenty of details like this. Or for example, if it's the birthday, if today is the birthday of one of the pupils, as you can see here, automatically the system warns you and tells you, okay, today is his birthday. You can see the cake here, right? So there are a lot of these kind of details, or filtering the students, creating groups. There are plenty of other features like this. But I would like to show you also how attendance works, because it's also an important topic to track attendance from your students. So here we have a menu through which we can handle other options also, but here there's an option which is called attendance. And it's very, very easy to use. You could just click attendance, and when you want to track attendance, you just click this button here, and automatically the system puts the green icon for this person. Or you can come here, and he was delayed. Sorry, in my account it's in Spanish, but in your case you will see it in English. Attendance, absence, delay, justified absence, justify a delay and expulsion, right? Okay, if he behaved, but okay, I can just track that. Okay, he attended, but he was expulsed. This can also be customized, so you don't have to use exactly these values. It's very easy to customize this grading system from the settings menu that we have here. And every day I just can click here. Okay, he was absent. Next day, okay, he was absent. Next day, okay, she was delayed. So it's very easy to track attendance and have a register. And then, of course, you also have a summary about Peter Salmon. Okay, he attended 2 days, which is 50%. He was absent 1 day, 25%. He was delayed 1 day, 25%. So it's, as you can see, again, it's very, very easy to track attendance with the platform. And yeah, have a summary and a register. So when the end of the course arrives, you can go to the students and say, okay, but you had like pretty bad attendance. Next course, you should probably attend a bit more, or maybe if they are kids, you can speak to their parents to understand how they could be a bit more involved. And well, of course, it's everything on the same place. You can be grading. So when you say, I know I want to track attendance, come here, open the attendance tracker, and very easily track everything. What else? We also have like a platform or not a platform, other features, like, for example, a tool to manage all the resources that you use for your classrooms from the same place. Instead of having the documents or presentations or everything that you use on your classrooms or digital book from different places, if now we are here on the language first level course, we could just come here, go to resources, and here I could just add my resources. I click here, I have the plus button, I can like upload resources. And here I could, like, for example, if I'm using, I don't know, a document like this one, I could just have this document here in my group, right? I could very easily like add another resource also from my Google Drive account. If I'm using Google Drive, the system is connected. And you can just, I don't know if you are seeing it because it's like on another screen, but now the system asks me to pick a file from my Google Drive account. And I've selected like this presentation, for example. I have the icon here, and since it's perfectly integrated, I just click here and the presentation is open, right? So I can have here all the document and all the resources that I'm using to teach. They can be from Google Drive, they can be from OneDrive, Microsoft. I can upload resources, and I could also link resources from other groups and other places within my account, right? So those are documents that I have in my account. I could just select these and these if they are used in other groups, and I could have like a link here to the same resource. What else? Another really useful tool is the noting system. You can just, if you want, of course, using the gradebook, you can keep track of everything that's going on in the classroom. You can keep track of how the students are learning, how they are improving, which grades they get, or for example, if you want, you can also add a column with just like, I don't know, comment, like for example, and you can also write in open text. So here you can also keep track and say, okay, you have improved a lot, but the size of this field is limited. So if you want to write just short comments, okay, he has improved, he has to focus on, I don't know, on grammar, you can just write it here very easily. And of course you could make this column a bit wider. Perfect. You've improved a lot. Okay. But if you want to keep track of more extensive events, we have the noting system here. And again, the advantage is that you have everything on one single place. You don't have to use the notes app from your laptop. You don't have to have your documents on your Google Drive. You don't have to have a spreadsheet for the gradebook or a paper gradebook where you write all the grades. Everything can be centralized. That's the best that the product offers. And here, for example, I could just add comments, like for example, okay, let's add a new note. I click here and I can put title like a group progress. Here I could just start writing like, okay, this group is doing progress and is improving a lot. John started. So here I could like, no, tremendous. So here I could just, I have like a word, like a fully fledged noting system or text editor that you can use to just write these comments and activities directly on your account. And these comments can also be added to one particular student if you want. So I could just click here, add note, and I could like select student. Imagine that I just want to write a note about Alex, a title, Alex progress first period. I could just come here and write Alex started the course with some problems in grammar, but he made right? Okay, here you could write everything. So here now I have one comment, which is Alex progress. It's linked to Alex and group progress, which is the entire, which concerns the entire group. And now that I have I've created this comment about Alex. Of course, I can see all my comments here ordered by last accessed. But if I go to the gradebook, I can click on Alex, and here I can see all his notes. And here, as you can see, the system links the note that I've just created. Alex started the course with some problems in grammar. So here I can have like a summary about how did Alex performed during the entire course. And then we also have the calendar and the events. Here, of course, I have all my lessons because as you can see, we set up here, if I go here and I go to edit group, I could change the start, end date, and the timetable. But as you will remember, this group, we set up this group to teach on Wednesday at 4 p.m. So in my calendar for this week, I could, of course, jump to other weeks also, but I just teach on Wednesday. But I could add other events, like for example, okay, prepare the exam. When am I supposed to do it? Like for example, okay, this Friday at 9. I could just also add an alert. And here prepare the exam, and I have this event here, and all this is added to another resource that we have, which is the schedule. I could click here, and I could see my schedule. As you can see, on Friday I have to prepare the exam. Today, Wednesday, I teach language first level in the afternoon. I teach Educación en Valores today at 12, because well, here it's a bit earlier. Here I have my timetable. So imagine once you have set up all the timetables for all the students for all the teachers in your organization, it's pretty cool, right? Because everyone has his timetable well organized. It can be linked with your particular calendar as well. So, it helps staying organized. So let me get back to the group. What else? Here we have plenty of other options like hiding columns, hiding tabs, integrating with Microsoft Teams, Moodle, Google Classroom. If you use these LMSs, you can create columns directly from the LMS, or you can create activities on the LMS directly from Additio. I'm not sure, probably some of you are using it. It's a really powerful integration. Here you have everything related to copying a group. Imagine that you want to reuse this structure into another group. You could just copy it from another group, or you could share this group between teachers within your organization. And of course, again, you can export data. Yeah, you can create work groups, restart the cycle of random students. You can import grades from spreadsheets. If you already have the grades in one spreadsheet, you could import it automatically. So there are plenty like undo or redo options. If you remove something by mistake, like, okay, come here and say, oh no, I've removed it. You can come to actions and undo this action and recover this tool here. It's very, very easy to use, as you can see, and it has a lot of hidden features that you will discover when you start using it. Then the last part I would like to show you is everything related to lesson planning. Because, yeah, and I would like to leave some time for questions, because I've seen that there are several comments on the chat, so it would be, I will leave some time for questions at the end. Another big part of the product, as you have seen, well, we have seen like the gradebook and the noting system, the attendance tracker, this tool to track nodes and to manage all the resources that you use for your classrooms. But there's one important topic, which is scheduling and preparing your classes. Right here, we have like a tool that you can use to plan your lessons. Every teacher more or less plans his lessons. Okay, today we are going to talk about, I don't know, phrasal verbs, for example, right? In the first session. Okay, so here in the first session, for example, will be like the introductory session. Which are the goals or the objectives? I don't know, explain the course structure, present the evaluation or the assessment system. I don't know. So if we are going to do 2 exams plus presentations, I don't know, and certification options. So those are the topics that I'm going to cover. Here I could also link resources very easily. I could just click here and upload a file, say, okay, I will use this presentation for this session. So I can have, okay, the session with the goals, the resources that I was planning to use, very easily accessed on the same place. And here I could also plan activities, like, for example, a non-accessible activity, which is create groups, work groups that we will use on the next sessions, for example, right? And here I could also write a follow-up after the class. Okay, it was well planned, or it was too loaded for the first session. How was the second? What about the second session? What I'm going to cover on the second session, like we said, phrasal verbs, goals, understand importance of phrasal verbs, explain some examples. So here I could just, or I could also add other sections here, like, for example, one section called homework can be added very easily. It can be structured here and say, okay, in this session I put the homework, okay, page 19, exercise 1, 2, and 5, for example. So here I have like, okay, as you can see, you don't have to click save anywhere. It just stored automatically as soon as you keep doing progress. So this tool is really powerful because it helps you plan all your lessons in a very easy way. Again, you don't have to write it on a paper or on a shared Word document. It's like well, an easy to use tool. And imagine your dynamics. You arrive, you open the platform. Here you have, okay, today I teach language first level at 6. Imagine it's now. I could just open the group. I could just go to scheduling, see, okay, for today, okay, we have to understand the importance of phrasal verbs. We have to do some examples. We will use this resource and I will put this homework, or I have to correct this homework, right? Then I go here on the gradebook and I can just add activities in the categories, or depends on the period. And I could also track the attendance. So which is the advantage? The advantage is that everything is on one single place, right? And as you have seen, it's really easy to use, much easier than using a spreadsheet or using separate files. And that's why a lot of people are really using it, because you can have everything on one central place. Everything is digitalized and it can be accessed from all your devices. So it really helps keeping everything more simple. What else? Here we have other options, like we have also a tool to plan lesson plan, to create your lesson plans also, right? It's like we have seen this tool here, the scheduling tool that helps you describe and write everything that you plan to do on your lessons. That's great because it's simple. You just write, okay, this day I'm going to do it, this day I'm going to do this day I'm going to do that. That's great. Then it can be exported, copied. The next year you just can copy the same schedule or the same plan that you had for last year. But we have also this tool here, which is really powerful, which helps you plan, have your own lesson plans. And as you will see, it allows a much higher detail. This is for people who wants to create his own content and have it well structured. Like, for example, okay, let's see this one. Animals do karate too. You can like create, define the scope of the lesson plan and say, okay, which is the title, Animals do Karate, which is the approximate duration. Okay, it can be like 10 hours, for example. You can attach this activity to the sustainable development goals if you want. And you can here start writing the details, like, okay, which is the topic, it's about science, which are the goals, why are we doing, which is the why are we doing this activity. Okay, here I can write a lot of details about, okay, we are doing this activity because kids have to start, or students have to learn about, I don't know, these sentence structures. So here you can just write a bit more detail. And here you can also create lesson plans per each lesson, right? Like, okay, first session, we will do the cell biology escape room, which is an activity that can be described here. Okay, we will make groups and I will introduce the items we'll use to do the escape room. So here you have another tool to provide a bit more detail, and it's, well, as I said, it's really nice. It's a really nice tool that helps you having everything organized. It can be aligned with the curriculum also if you want, and then everything can also be exported. You can see the entire project with all the details, with all the activities, and how these activities have to be done. And this can also be exported and shared with other teachers. So it's another tool that you can use if you want. Of course, this is not for everyone. I mean, the gradebook, the attendance, the noting system, the lesson planner, I think all the teachers probably are doing it one way or another, probably more in paper or manually, or using different tools. As you have seen, it can be centralized, but everybody has to really do it. And yeah, with this platform, it really helps in all this process. But the unit and lesson plan, the unit and lesson planner, it's a tool that yeah, it's just for people who wants to create his own lesson plans and units and have everything organized. Probably it would be for a more advanced user. That's why I'm not creating one right now and giving you more detail about this, because probably I don't want to show too much features and options that then you might be overwhelmed by this and say, okay, it's too complex product. I would like I wanted to show you that we have this option here, but yeah, just to give you an overview. And then the last thing I would like to show you is the reporting tool. Here we can also create reports like for all students. For example, let's create, well, here, for example, we have a report for all students. Like, okay, here I can just move to the next student or the previous student, and I have a report that shows me the students' data. Here we have a graphic about the attendance. Okay, this student attended 60% of the lessons and he arrived late at 40% of the lessons. Here I can have also a table with a summary of all the attendance, like, okay, 66% of attendance. Here I can have some grades also, but this is something that you decide at the end, right? I will now show you how to create one. It's very easy. You just have to click here again to create new report. I can come here and say, okay, the report name is, I don't know, students progress or first level students progress, title, students progress, and I will select like students report. And here I can select from all my groups. I will select language first level. I want to include all my students on this report. Perfect. And then the report is created, but as you can see, it's still empty. I have to add my widgets. What do I want to see? Because not everybody wants to see the same information. Okay, I want to see the students' information. Yeah, I want to see the student's name and his picture. Perfect. Now I would like to add like, for example, the monthly attendance, or yeah, the attendance summary, for example. Okay, between the 1st of January. Okay, just click steps. Yeah, I have to pick the course again because I could show information from different groups also if this student is part of two groups. Like, okay, I've added the attendance summary here. That's great. So 75% of attendance. And now, as I showed you before, I could just use the same report and navigate through all students. Peter Salmon, John Sharp, Joan Perez. So here, it's the same report, but you can see information from all your students. I could also add like, okay, I want to add like, I don't know, some grades, for example, marks table. And now say, okay, I want to show on the language first level, I want to show like the first period. Well, not all. I want to see like how was the, yeah, this for, or I don't want to see the comment, for example. Okay, I just click save and automatically I see the first period grades, the first exercise, the presentation, and the final grade. This is nice tool because it helps you have like a nice overview about how the students are doing and performing, but from a just in one screen, right? You can have the attendance. You could add here, yeah, a lot of options. Like, okay, I would like to see the student notes. Okay, and for example, these students don't have notes, but there was one who in fact had. Alex, for example. Alex started the course with some problems in grammar, but he made great progress. So we can create these kind of reports that then can be shared with the families. They can be printed, or they can be, or they can also be for particular use, right? You could just have these reports for yourself to see everything from one single place. They are stored here, and they can be reused or duplicated and used for other groups. And as you have seen, again, it's very easy just with the mouse, adding the widgets and selecting which information you want to see. So it's very simple. And I think, yeah, more or less, this is what I wanted to show you, which are the most relevant topics. Again, I think I've shown you a lot of different options and features. You can use all of them. As Alex said in the beginning, you can use all of them without having to pay for them, because the federation helped you providing you the licenses. And I would like just to remind that, as you have seen, is it's a nice tool to manage all your lessons and all the information about your students. And I would like to remind that it's really easy to use. Of course, the first steps are in one product are always a bit tough, not because the product is complex, at least in that case. Sometimes just learning a new product, or moving from more current system, and maybe you are already putting the grades on a paper agenda or on a Google or on a spreadsheet. Okay, yeah, moving to another platform, it takes a bit of time, but as you have seen, in 1 hour, we have done everything. Of course, I know how to use it, but as you have seen, it's not difficult. You can import your students from one spreadsheet and one picture. You can just add columns with your mouse, calculate averages, use the grading systems that you want with numbers, with rubrics, with icons, calculating averages, roundings. It's pretty easy to use. So I would encourage you to do these first steps and learn how to use it. And then, of course, something that is really important is that we also have an amazing customer support department that will help you doing these first steps. We have plenty of tutorials on our help center here. Sorry, I'm switching to English. So here we have a lot of tutorials how to create a rubric, or how to start a new course, create rubrics and explore all the possibilities. And here you have everything related to rubrics, how to create a rubric, for example. Everything is well documented here. I will copy this link on the chat. Oops, sorry. Yeah, this. I will copy this link to the chat with the help center. Oops, sorry. Yes, and we also have a YouTube channel in which we have also a lot of videos. They are in different languages. As you can see, we have like more than 350 videos and around 40,000 subscribers. It's a great way to learn about the product. We do webinars, we cover a lot of topics, and all tutorials are in Spanish, English, and French also. So here we have also the list, and here, for example, we have a lot of tutorials about how to start getting started with Additio, create a group class and import students, evaluate skills and a standard, didactic planning and units, track attendance as a teacher, create and send quizzes. We have not seen the quizzes option. I will show it fast, but here you have all the tutorials that you might need. But again, it's not just about learning through the tutorials, but you could also send emails to our team. If you write an email to info@additioapp.com, they will help you with all the process. I don't know. You can ask, okay, I've seen that Jordi showed us how to use a rubric, but I don't know how to do it. Or Jordi changed something to make an average without discarding the empty cells. How can I do it? And they will answer you pretty fast and giving you the answers you need to do it. So through the tutorials on the help center, the YouTube channel, and the help and the customer success team, I'm sure that you will be able to implement it pretty easily, but progressively, right? So you can just do it step by step. So I will go through the chat. If someone has questions, please write them on the chat or just raise your hand.
I've got one.
And I will answer the questions that you might have.
Jordi, I got some text messages. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, look, someone was texting me earlier, and it's one of the first questions in the chat. Seeing as we've all got different languages, can you guarantee, can you just reassure us that we can use different languages, like different scripts, so long as we've got the keyboards or the software on our computers? We can use those in the, like, the kids' names or whatever, like lesson plans that we create. So whatever we type in, we can use different alphabets, correct?
Yes, it should work. Of course, I cannot guarantee 100% that all the scripts and all the different languages are fully supported, because there are a lot of differences, but the vast majority of them can definitely be used.
And can you just quickly, there's something really important that came up. I've been asked a lot of questions, and I thought I just want to take this opportunity. Can you tell us why Google Classrooms is not being used in Europe? Is that correct?
They are having a lot of trouble about privacy in that case, because it's a very big American company that is subjected to the American laws, and the American privacy laws are really restrictive because there is a huge difference between the European law is the standard is really high. I mean, they try to put privacy at the first place, right? In United States, there is a difference, which is that the government can, at one particular moment, say, okay, I need this data that I know you have for, I don't know, security reasons, right? Of course, the government is not going to say, oh no, give me this data for something which is not important, but they can do it. But in Europe, this is against the regulation, and they are trying to, they are struggling to find the kind of agreement that can allow these big companies like Google and Microsoft accomplish with the privacy laws. It's not that it's not being used, because, as you know, okay, there is these privacy laws which have to be accomplished, but sometimes, there are some schools who decide, okay, we are going to use it anyway because it's super unlikely, but in a lot of countries, they are having a lot of trouble to implement their products, because the standards in terms of privacy for European countries are super high, and this is bringing some of these problems.
Just another one. There's one really big thing that I thought that because we're community language schools, Jordi, and we don't have all of those subjects during the day, of course. So for us, it's going to be a lot easier to create the rubrics, to create the lesson plans, and the reports, which is really important, because we're going to be accountable now, because the government has asked for let's say accountability when it comes to the reports, and we can actually provide those for the every year we have to provide attendance, and if it's all in the one place, it's really good. And of course, like we said, the privacy issue is really big. So you've guaranteed it to us already in the past. I've spoken to some IT people here who knew about the European laws being extremely high when it comes to privacy. So I just wanted to relay that. But the other thing is, we haven't got the attendance. You didn't show us the attendance, how simple that is. How you can put it on the phone, the Additio app.
No, I think I will show it again, but
it's really simple anyway. It was just maybe I was
but I showed it. Just to close or to give all the information about the privacy topic, we were contacted by the Australian government once they realized that our product was being implemented in a lot of schools and used by several teachers here, and they made us an audit. They just asked us a lot of questions, and we went through the process. And since our privacy laws, again, the standard is super high, we got approved and everything is ready. So
I'm glad you said that. Sorry, really what I meant to say before is that the Additio app, which is another, like you can use it on your phones. That's all I wanted to say. That if you have
exactly. Exactly. Yes. It's very important to highlight that. Okay, as you have seen, you can use the platform on your laptops, but again, you can download the app on your smartphone or on your tablet and do exactly the same. And on the smartphone and the tablet, it's even easier, even faster, because it doesn't even require internet connection. You just go there, click OK, add column. Everything is immediate. It goes super fast, and it's cool because we know really well that in your classrooms or when you teach, you have just a limited amount of time, and you don't want to have to wait. Okay, it's loading, it's doing this. So from the mobile phones, it's very easy. Just you go there, open a group, click attendance, one click, all students are registered, and it's super easy. You don't lose any time. I don't. If you want, I can. I've seen some of the topics. I see that some of the topics have already been answered. But let me check. Good evening. I just use mobile. I can see the timetable because I got my glasses.
While you're looking, I just want to reassure anyone that if you do, don't forget that this is on the YouTube channel, this particular recording. And of course, Jordi said that you've got loads and loads of videos and lots of, there are lots of PDFs, if you like, explaining online all of the questions that you might have regarding the Additio platform.
Hi. Well, if you want, I can just read the questions with these 10 minutes that we have left. He says, our school has 4 teachers and each has a tab. If we set up in one tab, can this be copied to other tabs too? Or I have to set up Additio in all individually? When you mean tab, I'm not sure if you mean a tab on one group or a tablet directly. But there is a way that groups can be shared between teachers. So, but it's something that it would take more time to explain. If you would like to share your groups, just send us a question through Alex, and we will help you understand how to do it. But it's very easy to copy information from inside one group and link information from one place to another. I have not shown it. I've just shown how to make averages, but it's very easy to just grab a column from one tab and put it on another tab, so different people can see it. As Alex said, there are a lot of tutorials, and you can contact the help team, the customer success team, and they will help you doing it. Connie Zhao said, can the lesson plan be exported? Definitely yes. There are a lot of options to all data can be exported, but in particular lesson plans, both the more advanced ones or just the lesson plans that in which you can write what you are planning to do very easily, they can be imported in PDF, and the final format is really nice because you have all the information there, really well structured. You can store it, you can print it and give it to another teacher, for example, but they can also be copied. So if the next year you are doing the same, you just go there, copy it, and everything is duplicated. Bantran says, could CFL provide a template of classroom management? We provide a template with all the accounts. It's just a simple case. It's a demo case. It's the mathematics example group. But if you would like, we could discuss with Alex how to create like a super simple template with the kind of activities that you normally do. Like, for example, one category for assignments, one category for exercises, one category for exams, and they can be very easily shared. You just should put a code. There is a system in which we can share with you a code, and with this code, you can create automatically all the classroom template. Let's reach out, Alex, please, and ask him which kind of template you would like, and we can definitely help you creating this template, and this can also be shared with other people. Dinesh Pereira says, can we manage our teachers via this system? I don't know exactly what it means, but if you mean about provisioning the accounts and giving them the account, the process is handled by Alex and his team. You just could contact him, and they can give you the accounts, and everything is properly organized, so you can get the accounts for all your teachers. For instruction, this training is fine. I will be more useful to set up and explain in a community language school setup. Yes, but well, we could definitely organize another kind of session, probably more focused. I tried to give you like an overview, like, okay, how to do it. At the beginning, I showed one particular case, which was like a general group, but then we created like a case that I think it can be applied also for language schools, like adding the exercises that we did and the exams. But if you have more details about what you would like to do, please contact the support team, and they can also prepare you a video with more information if it's needed, okay, to try to adapt to your particular need. But again, each school has its own system, and it's pretty difficult to just do an example that fits perfectly your case. But feel free to contact the support team, and they will probably be able to help you understand exactly how to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Thank you. How many years of data students' marks will be available for us to look up?
Can I answer? Sorry, Jordi, if I interrupt, I'm sorry. Look, I've been told that we've got a few more years to go. So
yeah,
you've got a few years of subscriptions or licenses, from what I understand. So there's no drama there. Yeah, that's basically it, really.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think I think there's another question. How about online enrollment for the new students? By now, Yichu, the students don't enroll actively on the platform. You just create the accounts and you just add the students, as I have shown you in the beginning, importing the students from a spreadsheet or adding them manually. Because right now we are more focused on providing you a tool for the teachers, because to manage all your instruction and all your daily activities. The accounts for the students don't need to be provisioned. They don't have to register and log into the group. Those are things that could be done on the platform, but we focused on these particular topics, providing you a tool through which you can track attendance, you can track how the students are progressing, that helps you stay organized, and after that, and then to do that, students don't have to enroll directly on the platform. Another question, can we import historical data if we start using Additio? Can we import the last 5 years of data? Of course you can. You don't have a limitation of space or data, so you can create your groups and import this information, so you can have everything on a single place. So you can definitely do it. Groups from past years can be archived, and so you don't see them every day there. There is a functionality that allows to hide these groups from your account. So you just have, if you teach like language on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, for example, you will have only 3 groups. That's perfect. But if you want to have more, if you want to have these groups, you definitely can do it. Perfect. I think we answered all the questions. So yes, I see a lot of people thanking us for this presentation. I just want to thank you for the time that you and the attention. And yeah, I encourage you to start implementing Additio. You will see that it will help a lot your organizations. It's a product that is implemented in thousands of schools around the world, in Australia, of course, but also in many other countries. We have teachers using it as a particular tool in almost every country in the world. It's easy to use, it's well documented, and as you will see, once you have learned how to set up everything and how to do the first steps, you will see that it helps you a lot, and it's really, really easy to use. So and if you have any questions, we are here to help. You can reach out our team through Alex and his team, or also directly through email and through the tutorials and the YouTube channel.
Right, excellent. Jordi, look, thank you so much. Who probably got up quite early. It's morning over there in Spain, in Girona. So thanks again. It was a very, very intense hour and a half, everybody, because the features are quite a lot. But I just want to reiterate, it's a real time saver. You don't have to use all the features. You just do a little bit at a time, and you can see how easy it is to use once you practice. And you'll find that you can just put in all of your resources, and actually once they're all there, and you get the gist of it, it's a real time saver for our community language school teachers. So stay in touch, email me with any questions, and thank you very much again to Jordi for getting up early and doing this talk for us.
Have a nice day.
All right,
nice
thank you. Bye everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye bye.